we often hear that leaders of the country and politicians, they talk about creating jobs. The reality is wars, natural disasters, and criminals, they create a lot of jobs. But I suppose that's not exactly what they mean. Some time ago, I had gone for shopping, and this girlfriend of mine, at times she would pick up a product and would place it somewhere else. She wouldn't bother to go back and place it to where it was. And then I said, but you know, you're just making a risk. Why don't you just go do that? And then she said, but you know that I'm creating jobs. And she really meant it. I said, but you know that you're creating a useless job. It is not productivity. As well, you know that the cost is going to go up on the business, which somehow is going to reflect on the product, the things that you are going to be getting. And but yeah, she couldn't differentiate between the useless job versus a productive job, or sometimes a negative job. So I mentioned that, you know what, I have a better suggestion. To create jobs, we can smash each other's cars and houses, as well as harm each other. It will create a lot of jobs between the hospitals and for the treating the individuals, to the judicial system to take care of the judicial part of it, to the jail and all that. But I suppose that's not what exactly you mean. So we have to be very careful with the words that we use, and we should be very precise that you are talking about productive jobs versus useless jobs or negative jobs. I'm a physical therapist by profession. Some time ago, a patient of mine, we were talking about technology, and I mentioned technology actually creates a lot of productive jobs. It increases the productivity and decreases the amount of work that we do. She kind of was worried. She said, but you know that it takes a lot of jobs away and it increases the unemployment. Then I asked her, she's originally from a less advanced country, which I asked her, I said, you agree that your back home country is not as advanced in technology and other stuff in relation to Canada? And she agreed to that. I said, do we have more unemployment in your country, in your back home country, or in Canada? By far, there was more unemployment in her back home country. But how can that be? I mentioned this, and I believe this is how it works. In less advanced societies, people get into the workforce easier with less training. And they end up to provide a less quality job, which requires to be repeated, and it would be poor and less paid, and they work for a lot more years. And it translates to this: they start working sooner, they work for a lot of years, they can never retire, and all the way through they are going to be poor. On the other hand, in more advanced societies, in order to get to the workforce, you need more training. When you get into the workforce, you provide a better quality job that does not need to be repeated as much, and then you work less, and all the time you're paid a bit more and you're richer, so you can retire. So the number of years that you work becomes less versus the poor countries. As well, you're well off. Imagine if you have a car problem, and if you take your vehicle to be fixed by a mechanic, which is not that good, however, is cheaper. And when they fix it, first of all, it takes them longer time. Secondly, you run into problem again and again. Would you prefer that, or a mechanic that charges you a little bit more, however, when the problem is fixed, is done once and for all? As a matter of fact, I came across with this expression: I'm not rich enough to buy poor products. I hope you find this helpful, that in future, when we talk about productivity, when we talk about jobs, we talk about positive productivity, not about useless jobs or negative jobs, and that we can all work towards that. After all, it will make life better for all of us. Thank you.